Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
see this? Now you cannot go
baby,
again.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Everybody in the building. Hey, what's going on? Hey Freddie, I got your super chat. I did. You wasn't in here last live, so I want you to know I did get your super chat. That's why I wanted you to come on in here, girl. Come on in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yes, I wanted you to know we did get your super chat in the Cash App section. So I want you guys to know that. So Freddie Johnson's in the building. Cynthia Gatewood is in the building. Zena's in the building. Lisa Taylor's in the building. Monique Hall is in the building. Hey, you guys, we are coming up. She said, I hate the change on YouTube. Oh, they did a lot of changing, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it always mess us up, but that's cool, She said, Lisa, I have no idea. I didn't do anything. What did you do? What did you do? I keep missing a lot. Yeah, well, trust and believe, we came on, it was 6, 7 o'clock at night. You probably wasn't even looking for us. And I had to come on because we had missed like 2 days. We had missed a Wednesday and a Friday or something. So we had to come on. And so we came on and I was like, but the reason why we came on is because the Sonia Massey case had went to court and trial, and we were talking about Sonia Massey, and I didn't want it to be, we had already missed like that Friday when she went to court on October the 31st. So, which was Halloween, So we've been doing these quick lives, last time we was going to try to do a quick live, it ended up being an hour, but no, we're doing quick lives. We're going to do these quick 15-minute chat sessions because we're waiting on some things to happen, and when they're not happening, you got to see if everything's going to play out. So we do know that Jarvis is going back to court on October the 22nd or in October the 20. No. It said October the 22nd. October's gone. October the 22nd, October the 29th, he went to court. And then he goes to court again in February. Dang it. Diesel, go sit down. You doing too much. Go sit down. Stop. Get out of here. You're doing too much. He gets all anxious. And so let me see. I think his next court, Emmanuel update. There's an Emmanuel update. Baby Emmanuel father, Jake Harrell, sentenced to more than 30 years. Oh, so there's an update in the baby Emmanuel. So he got sentenced. I thought they was going to sentence him on the same day that Jake is sentenced to 25 to life for the murder of his son. Jake is sentenced to 25 years to life in murder of his son. Oh, wow. Let me see. Jake Hero was sentenced in Riverside County Court November the 3rd, Monday, about 2 weeks after he pleaded guilty. So he went to court. I thought he was going to go to court on the 13th. See, he went to court on the 3rd. So this is what it says, you guys. Jake, the California man who killed his 7-month-old son before falsifying, claiming that the baby had been kidnapped, has been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Okay, so Jake snuffled and wiped his tears at Riverside County Court in front of Judge Charles, handed down his sentence on Monday, November the 3rd, about 2 weeks after he pleaded guilty to murdering his 7-month-old Emmanuel. Okay, prosecutors had requested that Hero get the maximum for Emmanuel's death and that it be added on top of a 6-year sentence for abusing his 10-week-old child, Carolina, in 2018. Carolina injuries were so severe that she, now a wheelchair-bound quadriplegic, will never walk, never feed herself for the rest of her life, is dependent on a gastrointestinal tube, and has cerebral palsy. Prosecutors say her name has since been changed. We know her name is now Promise. Okay. Jake murdered 7-month-old Emmanuel, but in reality, he comes before this court having taken the lives of 2 young children. Riverside County District Attorney Michael wrote to the judge If there are lower forms of evil in this world, I am not aware of them. So Emmanuel's maternal grandmother, Mary Bezahinson, addressed the court just before the sentence and asked for the maximum. The grandmother asked for the maximum, saying that her children and grandchildren are going through every hell in this world. He destroyed my whole family. Polk agreed to the sentence Hero in the maximum. While no sentence can possibly vindicate the loss of innocent in life at the hands of Mr. Hero, a man who was supposed to protect these precious and defenseless children against harm, the sentence here is the most the court can do to ensure as much justice is done as possible, he said. Okay, you guys, I know y'all guys didn't know about this. So, Hero's attorney did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Here's what you need to know about the case, including the status of the case. So, on August the 14th, Rebecca reported that she was attacked, okay? We know all of that. Okay, these began a frantic search. We don't need to go through that. August the 22nd, they was arrested. November the 3rd, Emmanuel's body has not been found. They said, believe they know the area where he was left. Hero was seen after his arrest with deputies apparently searching a remote area. Rebecca has pleaded not guilty. On Monday, her attorney appeared in court on her behalf to discuss the unsealing of a document, but that hearing was continued until December, according to... I wondered, because they were supposed to go to court together. It was Rebecca's mother speaking to her. Okay. On Monday, her attorney appeared in court. Rebecca's attorney appeared in court on her behalf to discuss the unsealing of a document. Remember, they sealed what Rebecca had said and did. But that hearing was continued until December, according to the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. She is scheduled for a settlement conference on January the 21st. So she's going in for another scheduled settlement. Remember what I told you guys about settlement conference, okay? If you guys remember, we talked about settlement conferences. Every court has them. You don't know when they are because you don't get to hear unless there has been a compromise or someone that says that they're guilty. Like in the settlement conference, that's when Jake came out and said, this is why they only have the defense there, the attorney, the prosecutor, and whoever is, they feel is the ones that, created and committed these crimes. So when they're there together, you guys, you don't get to hear what was said or who did what. They could say, I'm guilty or whatever, but they could take it back because it's supposed to be a safe place. Okay? Freddie said, it was Rebecca's mother speaking at the hearing. Freddie says, I know how it feels to lose a baby, especially one murdered. Great grandson from crib death. Stepdaughter killed. Okay. Sorry to hear that. Um, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. So, on top of a 6-year sentence for abusing his 10-week-old daughter, Caroline, we read all of that. Yeah, Emmanuel's maternal grandmother, that would be Rebecca's mother, Mary, addressed the court, okay, just before the sentencing, asked for the maximum, saying that her children and grandchildren are going through every hell in this world. Yeah, that would, maternal is the mother's mother. He destroyed my whole family. But, I wish that they would show it. Let's see real quick if they will show it, So anyway, you guys, that is always in a quick live. It is hump day. It is hump day. Let's see what they're saying here. Oh, they're not really. Parents of missing baby arrested operation. Oh, they're looking for another baby. Oh, wow. No, this is the Emmanuel. This is Manuel. I remember that area right there. They had all the places in the world to hide this child. And they took him out on the highway. Wait, she referring to the same people that swore up and down these demons wouldn't hurt that. Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. So Jake sniffled and wiped his tears, and he was handed down the sentence Monday, November the 3rd, you guys. And prosecutors had requested that Hero get the max on top of the 6 years for abusing. If there are lower forms of evil in this world, I am not aware of them, they're saying. Emmanuel's maternal grandmother asked for the max. He destroyed my whole family. While no sentence can possibly vindicate the loss of the innocent in life at the hands of Mr. Hero, a man who was supposed to protect these precious and defenseless children against harm, the sentence here is the most of the court can do to ensure as much justice is done as possible, he said. Hero's attorney did not immediately respond to the request for comments from U.S. Today. So, August the 14th, we know Rebecca and them. The body has not been found. Hero has been arrested after his arrest with deputies. Rebecca has pleaded not guilty to murdering Emmanuel. On Monday, her attorney appeared in court on her behalf to discuss the unsealing of a document, but that hearing was... So Monday, her attorney appeared in court on her behalf to discuss the unsealing of a document. The unsealing of a document. Well, that can go two ways. That could be something that she said while, in custody, and they had to maybe her, or, she could have said, I'm fearful of my life. My husband's going to kill me, and da-da-da-da-da, and they sealed that. And now they kind of want to use that as this is why she said and did what she did. Or she has said she killed the baby, and she probably went into details, and they probably didn't read her rights, or she asked for an attorney and they didn't give her one. And so they had to seal all of that up. And now the attorney is wanting them to go ahead and unseal it to try to get her to not have to do any time. So Don Cato, wait, she's referring to the same people that swore up and down that these demons wouldn't hurt that chains. Exactly, the children. So anytime that they're talking about some unsealed documents, see, because in a when they're doing a sentence, whatever, it's actually putting all the cards on the table. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I don't want to go over the whole case again because there's no need to go over the whole case. Rebecca has pleaded not guilty to murdering Emmanuel. Monday, her attorney appeared in court on her behalf to discuss the unsealing of a document. But that hearing was continued until December to discuss the unsealing of a document. She is scheduled for a settlement conference on January the 21st. Her attorney did not immediately respond. In a settlement on Monday, Hastings said, "The lies told in this case only deepens the tragedy of Emmanuel's death, and that the sentence against Jake represents a measure of accountability. Our office will continue to seek justice as the case against his co-defendant moves forward," he says. And Rebecca looked the same. She looked like she's starving herself. Her jaws are sunken in a little bit. You guys, I just want you to know. Let's see, though. Sometimes you can get stuff from other reporters, the way they report it. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, when one reporter reports something, they snatch whatever that reporter said, and they say the same stuff. It's like they just came up, clip, copy, and paste. And it's going to sound like I said the same thing, but I'm reading from a different spot here, you guys. Manuel's grandmother told the court that the father crime had destroyed my whole family. Let's see what she's saying. Jake has been sentenced to 25 years to life in California State Prison for the murder of his 7-month-old son, a child the family originally claimed was kidnapped in August, setting off a sweeping missing person search. Hero dabbed at tears in a Riverside County courthouse on Monday as the judge read out the sentence for the senseless assault and murder that claimed Emmanuel's life. While no sentence can possibly vindicate the loss of innocent and life at the hands of Mr. Hero, a man who was supposed to protect these precious and defenseless children against evil and harm, the sentence here is the most the court can do to ensure that as much justice is done as possible, the judge said. Emmanuel's maternal grandmother, Mary, told the court the baby's death had destroyed my whole family. She fought the justice system for giving Hero a second chance after a 2023 conviction for willfully cruelty against his child from a previous marriage, which resulted in a sentence of 180 days in a sheriff's work release program. He had a second chance Mary said, my daughter didn't have a chance with him. His children didn't have a second chance. I think the judge that let him go should be here sitting with him. Girl, if you don't go sit down. Like sometimes people can pull the wool over your eyes. Hero pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Emmanuel remains have not been found. Rebecca, Emmanuel's mother, has pleaded not guilty to murder and is scheduled for a settlement conference January. Initially, the heroes claimed Rebecca had been attacked and Emmanuel had been kidnapped in San Bernardino County from the parking lot of a sporting goods store, Big Five, on August the 14th. As police searched for Emmanuel and interviewed and his parents, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department found inconsistencies in Rebecca's account of the disappearance. A lawyer for the family blamed the inconsistencies on the stress of Emmanuel's disappearance. Police later searched the hero home and reviewed surveillance footage from surrounding areas, and social workers removed the 2-year-old from the couple's home. Both parents were arrested in late August and initially pleaded not guilty. In jail, Jake Hero allegedly told a prison informant he killed the baby and put his body into a trash can at the family's Southern California home, according to a report obtained by News Nation. Alongside Hero's 25 years to life in prison sentence, he is also facing 6 years in prison on a child abuse charge, 8 months on a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm, and 180 days as punishment for filing a false police report. So in all reality, he's getting 25 plus 6, which would be 31, plus 8 months, which would be 31 and 8 months, and then 180 days, which will be 32 years. Hero also owes a restitution fine of $10,000 they will never see. Okay. Let me see what this is saying. So you guys, that's it. Okay, it was something about Jake's emotions that's kind of changed it for me. Okay. What's that, Zena? I'm not leaning towards Rebecca did it and she hid the baby body and Jake didn't know exactly where she hid him. Yeah. It was something about Jake's emotions. I wanted to see it. I haven't got to see it yet. I heard he got tears. I heard he was wiping his eyes. But, he don't know where the baby is. I mean, I can understand that, but I don't understand it. Zeta says, I think that's how she got the black eye. Jake went off on her after he found out she went too far and unalived him. Well, okay. I see where you're coming from on that. I do. But let's go to one other. Let's see what ABC, if they say anything different. He was sentenced to over 6 years in prison for other offenses to run consecutively. So, consecutively. Wow, that's a good thing. Consecutive. So they're not going to be running at the same time. So he's going to have to do the 25, then the 6, and then, the whatever. He is ineligible for probation because he was already on probation for, the abuse of another child. The judge said while handing down. His sentence also include more than $20,000 in fine. Okay. Prior to the sentence, the defense objected to imposing any court fees or fines, saying Jake is an indigent and a public defender client. In response, the prosecutor said the defendant deserves no leniency. Last month, the 32-year-old father pleaded guilty to all charges, including second-degree assault causing bodily harm to a child, resulting in the death of said child, and filing a false police report, according to the court. The father, who previously pleaded not guilty with his wife Rebecca, in September, cried into the court when he was given his plea on October the 16th. Emmanuel's mother, 41, Rebecca, pleaded not guilty in an amended complaint in October, with the preliminary hearing scheduled for Monday. It remains unclear what is in the complaint, according to Los Angeles ABC. The baby's maternal grandmother, Mary, addressed the court. He destroyed my family, she said. Everybody in my family, all my children are destroyed by this. He changed my daughter. We don't know who she is, she continued. He kept my daughter away. I don't know what he did or how he changed my daughter's life, but she was never that same person after she went to live with him. Girl, you cannot blame this. You know what? I understand. I really, truly understand about, abuse, a woman being abused in a relationship. But now the whole thing is thickened because guess what? They're wanting to get Rebecca off. I'm going to tell you guys something. And I'm just telling you, you think Rebecca's going to get a lot of time. She's not. They just gave Jake 180 days for falsifying a police report. Now, since he took the whole thing and said he took out Emmanuel and he didn't want first degree. He didn't want them to kill him. So he did the second degree. And you guys know that the family of Sonia Massey was angry when that person got convicted and was given second degree murder instead of first degree murder. There's a big difference. But anyway, so they give him the second degree, and so he's taking the blunt of the whole situation, which is 25 years. But then, you've got the misdemeanor being the falsifying the police report. They made that very lenient. You know why? Because falsifying a police report, you're supposed to get up to 5 years. They gave him 180 days. You know why they gave him 180 days? Because she's going to be guilty of falsifying a police report. She has to be. Because guess what? He can't falsify the police report. She the one that said somebody took the baby. So that is a given. The falsifying the police report is both of them. He can't get her out of that. So she's going to get the falsifying the police report, which is 180 days. They gave him 180 days. So they're going to give Rebecca 180 days. Okay. Guess what? Rebecca done already did 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. August, September, October, November, December, January will be 6 months. 6 months, 30 days, 6 months, 180. She'll be getting out. When she goes to court in January, she will be getting out of jail. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. This is why he took the case and said, I did it. And I'm not saying he didn't do it. He just probably believed that, maybe I need to cut my nails here. My nails getting all kind of wacky. Wacky. Um, he loved his wife. And then the mother gonna sit there and say, we don't know who our daughter is. She went to go live with him and he changed her. She changed herself. You know, let me tell you something. She loved that man more than she loved them kids. Period, point blank. That's just the bottom line. I don't care how, whatever you want to say, you ain't got to be in agreement with me. You really don't. I'm just saying. Now, I get it that, let me tell you something. People get mad all the time about the truth. And I know, and you know what? They rather believe a lie than to tell the truth. They'll tell you, you know, check this out. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it once, you guys. You know, I was friends with someone, and I really love this person. I really love this person. And I just thought that we had this really good relationship, just really good friendship. Like we were thicker than thieves. We were just like sisters, you know. I thought. That's what I thought. I really did. I really thought this. And it hurt me when this person said I did something to them that I didn't do. And there's nothing I could say to make them believe anything different. Now, at the same time, I wasn't thinking nothing like what they were saying. That hurts, right? That's like somebody saying you stole something and you know you didn't. But they're saying, no matter what you say, I know you did. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you might as well chalk up the friendship and say goodbye. Because no matter what you say, they have it in their mind. You did this. You stole that. And yeah, y'all can get past it and still be friends. But in their head, you are a thief. You're not going to ever, when they say, you did this and ain't nothing you can say to make me believe differently, you might as well kiss the friendship goodbye. Okay? Because nothing you can say will convince them anything different. Because in their head, you did this. And you know, I believe, and I may be wrong, but I doubt it. This is just for me, that there's nothing you can say to convince them any differently. That's why I tell you guys, like, once you got something in your head, like sometimes when you hear something, you heard it, okay, you right then made a sound decision whether you're going to believe it or not, or what your belief is. Did Rebecca have something to do with this? Or did Jake have something to do with this? Because she came out and was like, somebody took the... Well, we knew one thing. And what nobody gonna tell us anything different. You can add more information, but we knew Rebecca was a liar. And Rebecca was a liar on her own continents. She was. She sat up there, and yes, that man was right there in front of her, and he could have been afraid and fearful, but she had time and time and time to tell the truth. and it didn't have nothing to do with that man. She decided to hang on with the man. She did. But I guarantee you, they ain't gonna let Rebecca go. She might get, like I said, she already did 6 months. Come August to January be 6 months. That's time served. She's gonna be walking out the door. And that's what Jake wanted. He said, let my wife go. And I will say that I did it. You did do it. Not you did it. Trying to make a deal. You did it, but you feel bad because your wife is trying to protect you, and now you got her mixed all in this. It didn't work. Now you're backpedaling. And so they don't want something read in court that's already been done. So they want her to get 180 days for falsifying a police report. Because what else could she have done? He taking all the blame. So now, what could her attorney be in court talking about something that's to be unsealed? He's talking about he don't want something to be unsealed. Okay? And I'm not saying that she wasn't abused in the relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying she chose to go with this finesse that, somebody said hola and hit her and took her baby, out of all the kids in the world. They wanted to take a cross-eyed baby. Tell me. And I'm just saying, you guys know I speak the truth. It may sound rough, it may sound hard, but it is the truth. I mean, I wouldn't want to, if I had all the babies in the world, because guess what? There's thousands and millions of women that go to the park, that goes to the store, that take their kids to the daycare, that they send their kids to school, that you could take any one of these kids, but you wanted to take a Spanish child that, guess what? They got all these Spanish children all over the place. But you wanted to take this special one that was cross-eyed, that was kind of a little bit slow, and you wanted everybody to believe that somebody followed you or waited for you to take your child. I'm going to tell you guys something. This is why things don't play out. It's just like a black kid. I'm just being honest with you. You don't have to go stealing a black child. There's a whole bunch of them in the system that you can go pick your color, your flavor, what you like. They can look like you. They can look like your husband. They can look like your kids. You can just pick them. Guess what? You can get them. Only thing you'd need to not have a police report, have a house, a roof over your head. You can be renting. You ain't got to own anything. You work a job and go pick out a kid. You don't have to go stealing kids. Your family will give you their children. They'll say, go on ahead. I tell my daughter all the time, girl, she had a baby young, and you know how young kids, they be like, I want the baby and he wants the baby and the holiday come. I told my daughter, I said, look here, you're going to be raising this child. Don't fight. Don't fight about this kid. Trust me, you're going to have all the time in the world. You're going to have all the time in the world with this child. Let him have the kid on the holiday, and you go enjoy yourself. You deserve it. She didn't understand what I said, but she listened. And now my grandson is 17, 18. She said, Mom, I remember when you told me, don't be fighting about no kids. I said, no, don't. She said, I was mad at you. I said, you was mad at me? I didn't know you was mad at me. But she didn't tell me she was mad at me at the time I told her that. But she gave him the child on the holidays and, and let him be father on Christmas and didn't see him until, Valentine's Day and, and 4th of July and Father's Day and Mother's Day and Thanksgiving and Halloween. But, yeah, but he's still the child's father. He just want to look like he doing right. It's an image. It's an image. He don't want that child. Girl, he don't want that child. To take a whole child and raise a child and stop your life and just put everything into it. A lot of men, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them don't want to do that. They rather just walk away. And it's most of them, you got to prove that the child is theirs. So I told her don't fight. Let him have the child on the holidays and whatever. If he, like you don't. I know you want the kid and you want the pictures and and you feel like you deserve it because you're the breadwinner. You're there 100% and he's there 10%. So you should be able to pick out all the days you want and all holidays. But honey, you're gonna have the rest of your life. Don't worry. She said she was mad. Like I said, I didn't know she was mad. But she did listen. She didn't argue. She'd give him the child on the holidays and all this other stuff. And and they have a bond. So, but naturally, you guys know what happens. You know that, he goes get another woman, go get other kids and go on with his life. We're not fighting about this kid. Now, you can have him whenever you want. Oh, now you're busy, right? Well, that's how it works, right? He's still in the child's life here and there on holidays because he looked like he was a really good father, right? Image. At the end of the day, she raised this child all by herself. There's a lot of time. He's 17, 18. Yeah, just think. There's only about 5, 6 holidays in a year. So 5, 6 holidays, he's got the kid. 5, 6 days. Probably 2 days, being Christmas Eve or something like that. Easter Eve, and Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July, the 4th and the 5th, Pocahontas Day. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you're looking at maybe 20 days out of a year. Anywho's, you got 360, 40 days to go with this child. Don't argue about it. When the child is young, the child don't know today, being December the 25th, is Christmas. So he celebrate Christmas with the child. You can come home and da-da-da-da-da. And guess what? Regardless if it's December the 28th, guess what? Today's Christmas. The kid don't know. So y'all open up presents and you say, Merry Christmas. And the kid think, if he can remember when they're young, they don't remember they celebrating Christmas with just dad. They believe they celebrated Christmas with dad and mom. They don't know the difference till they get a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get all caught up into that craziness. And thank God she didn't. She got a really good child now, she raised. And he has a relationship with both of them, but he respects the mom more and love the mom more because she's not only the breadwinner, she's the primary parent, and now the child knows the truth. Child doesn't know the truth when he's 5, 6, and 7, and 8. He's looking like, yeah, all kids be like, my daddy. Everybody want to have a mama and everybody want to have a daddy. And it doesn't matter what the father or the mother did, whether they was good or bad. Like, say, for instance, Jake was not a good father. But you cannot tell his kids that because, you can, but it ain't going to change nothing. They're going to run because that's daddy. You know what I'm saying? So don't fight that. Just show the love to the child and keep going. And if they get it, they get it. If they didn't get it, they was rebellious in the first place. They have some issues that probably came with the environment. So don't blame yourself because things didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? If you did what you were supposed to do and the child don't understand that you did what you were supposed to do, then they just don't understand. They were angry and mad already. You don't have to do nothing. You could be there 100% and the child going to be like, I'm mad at you. For what? Because I raised you? Because I gave you everything that I could? Like, I wasn't rich? That I made sure that you wasn't touched? Or I made sure that, you didn't have to go through the system and all of that other stuff? Oh, no. You didn't love me like you love everybody else. Well, like, what are you talking about? There's no level that I can sit there and say, I'm going to give you 10% of me, you 10% of me, and then you get 80. No, you give the child that needs what they need. And this one may need 40% and that one may need 60. Yeah, child needs a little bit more of your time and patience, then that's what you give them. You can't give all of them the same time and patience because, you don't have that much. That's like trying to spread some peanut butter on a whole loaf of bread. 1 spoon of peanut butter don't go that far. You're going to have to be very, very, smart about what you're doing. Just love them and keep going. If they don't understand, they don't understand. You'll be okay. SP, you got that right. Malaysia sings happy birthday all the time, and we tell you it's her birthday at Chuck E. Cheese. Exactly. I'm telling you. Just say, today's your birthday. She may think, yeah, she don't know. She don't know. And when they get to start understanding the dates and all of that other stuff, that's when you kind of hang that up, But anyway, nevertheless, you guys, that's life. But, like I was saying, some things once they are said or did or done, you can't take them back. And they hurt people. And Rebecca went all in trying to help her husband. She knew she was wrong. She knew she was wrong. I'm going to just go to Big 5 and I'm going to make a call. We done already, okay, y'all had to deliberately make up a story, be in agreement with this lie, and then take action. That's a lot. My mother always told me if somebody else knew the truth other than you, that's too many people. You might as well go on ahead and tell the truth. Because they is. They going to tell the truth. Now, if you can get away with the lie and not get hung up in that lie, you might stay and hang out with the lie. But unfortunately, it don't always work that way. But like I was saying, you know. What people think of you, you know, you know. And you don't have to like what people think. It don't matter. They think what they want to think. Like okay, well get out of here. If that's what you think of me, then that's what you think of me. Just leave me alone if that's what you think of. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Some people think, oh, you said this, you did that, you believe this, I know what you meant. Okay, what did I mean? You meant this. Oh, really? Okay. Well, in time, you're not going to lose anything when people don't believe you, especially if they're your allegedly a friend, or family member. It ain't even got to be friends. It could be family member. I got somebody in my family right now. Believe this, believe that. It's not true. I'm not going to sit there and try to convince them. That's wasting my time. Convince you for what? I'm not married to you. I said what I said. You said what you said. Okay, if that's what you believe. So I believe Rebecca is trying to put back together and get out. She's trying to put her life back together and get out. Don't unseal what was said. Don't unseal what was said. That's the only thing I could see her, a lawyer, is trying to do. Susie says the truth will set you free. Well, not all the time. Not all the time. A lot of people don't want to know the truth. They believe what they believe because whatever spirit told them that's what they believe. And it hurts when it's not the truth. It hurts. But they believe, they tell you. I had a friend not too long ago tell me, you said this and I know what you meant. You really meant that. And I'm like, what? What made you think that? But you know what? And you can't tell me nothing different. SP, you cannot tell me nothing different. And I'm thinking to myself, that hurts. That hurt that you said that. Because that is not what I said and that is not what I meant. And I don't know how you got 2 + 2 is 10, but if that's what you want to believe, go and believe that. But you will have to go and believe it over there and stay out of my zone. Because I will not let nobody mess with my peace. I know me. I know what I said. I know what I meant. And I don't know where you got all of that from. But you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not. I can't. It hurts. Anytime you accuse of something that you have not did, said, or thought of or whatever from someone that you love, it hurts. It's like when you're in a marriage and, I can take a lie and somebody say, hey, I was wrong. I'm sorry. When people say you were cheating and they just bluntly say you were cheating or something. You might as well think your marriage, you're going to always have to defend or move like to show this person you're not a cheater. Because once they get it in their head, you might as well hang it up. You're going to have to prove you're not a cheater the whole marriage or whatever. Now, if they said it and they just saying it just because, are you cheating? Or they asking a question. But they said, oh, you can't tell me nothing different. I know you was out there doing this. Then that's gonna affect how they move. Because in their mind, they actually believe what they are saying. Okay? So to save you some time and pain and all of that, the best thing to do is just buckle up, Buttercup, because you're going to have to defend yourself the whole entire time. Some things are worth defending yourselves, and sometimes it's just not even worth it. Because at the end of the day, you go to work, you pay your bills, you eat, and you take care of yourself. What other people think of you is sad. But when you lie, that lie stands with you. If you're telling the truth, then guess what? You're going to have a peace of mind when somebody leaves your relationship, leaves your comfort friendship, or just stay out of your life. If you're telling the truth, you can live with yourself. If you're lying and they caught you in a lie and you just don't want to tell the truth, you know what? It's hard. It's hard looking at the person. It's hard talking to the person. It's hard, and you're lying and they done caught you in a lie. Like let's say for instance, Freddie, say we're friends. And Freddie said, I stole her pocketbook. And I did. And she said, I know you stole my pocketbook, SP. I'd be like, no, I didn't. I still couldn't be her friend because I know I stole her pocketbook. And I made a bad decision. So I will still leave. But I learned not to do that to my next friend or whatever. So if she say I stole her pocketbook and I didn't steal her pocketbook, I would leave. Why? Because I didn't steal your pocketbook, and I don't know why you think that your pocketbook was golden, that I have to steal yours, and like I don't have money for my own or whatever you thought of me. You thought of that of me before the pocketbook came up missing, because I am a thief. But I would move differently. So Rebecca saying that she didn't kill the baby, and then now Jake saying that he did it. He did it all. Da-da-da-da-da. It still does not take out the fact that Rebecca lied, came up with this bogus story with Jake. They was all in agreement. And you know what? I think the judge should give her 5 years for conspiracy on her own child. That would be corrective action if she did not kill the kid, which we do not know. But to sit there and lie and come up and fabricate a story, and we're still looking for the child, and you're standing on this lie, and the man done already said, okay, well, I did it, and I even lied and made up the story. That means if he made up the story and you was in agreement with the story and it is a lie, that means you have no remorse. Ain't nobody hitting you upside your head right now. Ain't nobody gave you a black eye right now. So you're wanting to lie to show your alliance to a man and not your child? You need some time. You need some time to think what a parent's job really is. Zena says, my purse is missing. Girl, I ain't got your purse. She said, you are BFFSP. Girl, you know I love you. Anyway, you guys, I didn't want this to be long, but the idea of just looking this through, and like I said, Rebecca, if she comes out January, whatever date it was, January 29th, I think that's what it was. I don't know, and only get 180 days, and then they let her go when she goes to court, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. I will be hurt. And it's not even my kid. When I say hurt, it's because I don't want to be right. People be like, SP, you always think you right. No, I don't. I want the system to work right for people that do stuff like this. But, I do have one thing that God has given me. It's a part of a peace. And that is to accept the things I cannot change. So whatever happens, okay. God allowed it to happen. He let it happen. Whether she got out, I don't know the ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm in agreement with whatever it is. I'm in agreement with it. I cannot change it. If I could, I would be sitting right there saying, give her 5 years, at least. And that's not even a lot compared to a child being deceased. But anyway, it is not up to me. And it's not up to you guys. But let's see it through. Because this is the kind of world we live in. And then sometimes, and I do believe this, and that's why I do have a conscience, is it can, these situations like this can happen to any family. But if they learned from their situation, sometimes people don't want to really hear the truth. They don't want to know the truth. Yep, he murdered his own. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not saying there was a reason for it. I'm not. But you know what? When you know the truth, when King was in court and they asked him, did this happen? You know what he said? And it stays with me. He says, it happened. Things happen. It happens. It happens. Things happen. The girls come up there and they be fighting for Jarvis. Yeah, that happened. It happens. He tried to keep the girls away from each other. Yeah, it happens. And after it happens, there's going to be a reaction. And whatever the reaction is, it builds up. And if you keep feeding it, it never gets full. Because evil do not get full. You can read about it in the Bible that you're going to always have to feed that monster. That's why when they say when you tell a lie, you have to tell another one, because one lie don't cover it all. Love covers a multitude of sin. To love is almost like the truth. You know what I'm saying? So if you love, that's why when people say they can't really get it twisted. Love, because love, there's things love will not do. When you love, you don't want to hurt that person. I'm not saying you won't lie, but you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? When you love God, you want to know more. People can't say, oh, I don't go to church. Well, you ain't got to go to church. but you know his words, and they be on your heart and they be on your mind, and you treat people right, whether they believe it or not. They gonna believe what they want to believe. But when you love them, don't argue and fight. Love them from a distance, maybe. I don't know. Like, you may think bad of me, and I don't know where you got it from or whatever, but I guarantee you, I'll give you that. Go ahead and think bad of me. But what I did, I loved you. And I love you enough to accept what you believe, whatever you want to believe, but that ain't me. And I still love you. And maybe the next person that come in your life, maybe you'll love on them like I loved on you. Some people don't know what love is. They can have good people in their life, good friendship, good family, good mom, good dad, good relationship, good husband, a good wife. They may not do the things you want them to do. But one thing I do know, and I'm going to get off of here, and I know that this is true. Why? Because the Lord said it. Love covers a multitude of sin. And if you do that, you're going to win. Peace.